Alright, hello and welcome to this weather update. Very hazy skies today, poor air quality. I'm sure you've noticed that today, despite it really wasn't that uncomfortable out, it wasn't that humid, it wasn't that hot, but yet you're still feeling kind of drained. At least I was, because there's a lot of crap in the air, a lot of smoke from fires in Canada, most likely causing all this haze. Here was the sunset at Mineola tonight, and very hazy. You could see all that haze and smoke that we are all breathing in due to these wildfires. So let's now get to the weather update. So let's take a look at the MODIS satellite here, and we'll take a look and see why it was so freaking hazy today. Let's take a look and see. We'll go over our area, and you can see, yep, there's some cumulus clouds popping up. There's also some cirrus, but there's also some smoke around, and I think it's smoke. So I'm trying to figure out where it was coming from. I could see a lot more out to the west. Is it coming from Canada, probably? I see some smoke up here too. So let's see if it's coming from here. Yeah, I think it's coming from here. So I think it's coming from this part of looks like that same area in what is it, Saskatchewan and Manitoba, one of those areas over here. All right, and yeah, so that's why we got a little smoke from that, I think, and that's resulted in some really hazy skies and poor air quality today. And then we have the dust. That's a little further to the south of us. That is occurring. Looks like that's staying over the Caribbean, though it looks like it may try to wind up making a run at Florida eventually. This dust that's coming off the Sahara, you can see there's another huge cloud of it here. That really, look at how thick that is. That's quite unusual, to say the least. I've never seen a dust cloud that big before coming off the Sahara, but this is all due to what we're doing to this planet. You can actually see some smoke way up here. Look at that. Yeah, that's definitely smoke. That's over the Canadian Maritimes, and that's not good, because guess where that smoke is heading for? Greenland. And the thing is, if smoke gets onto these ice sheets, it makes the ice sheets darker, and that results in more melting, resulting in more sea level rise. Yeah, that is what we've got going on here. So yeah, I don't really expect any decent looking skies like we had last weekend, which was absolutely beautiful. It's going to be a rather hazy, poor air quality weekend. Okay, let's take a look and see what the observations are around our area. We do have a rip current statement. That's from what's left of Chris, which is now post-tropical and moving away from us. But let's take a look at the current conditions today. Let's see the kind of weather we had across Long Island today. So at Farmingdale, right now it's 73 degrees. It's not too bad. The south wind at 13, so we do have a sea breeze. It's not bone dry. We do have some humidity in the air. Nothing really terrible. We'll take a look at what Farmingdale hit today, and Farmingdale hit 82 degrees, all right, which isn't too bad with the sea breeze. So not an uncomfortable day, just a day with extremely poor air quality. 73, when I mean by poor air quality, is there's a lot of smoke in the air and particles in the air and stuff like that, hazy kind of air. That's not that good. So if you felt like you were a little tired today, you didn't feel like you were getting enough air, well, that's why. So let's see, 73 at Islip, got up to 82 at Islip, so pretty much low 80s across most of Long Island. We'll head into New York City, where I'm sure it was a little hotter. Go to LaGuardia, let's see, it's already hot there, 79, and LaGuardia hit 86 degrees, so a lot hotter at LaGuardia. And we will go and look at Central Park. We'll look at Central Park, and then we'll wind up in Tom's River. 77 degrees. Let's see what Central Park hit. 84. All right, that's it's seasonable, but it is a lot significantly warmer in the city. No surprise. Now let's go to Tom's River, where it's 74 degrees. It's actually cooler in Tom's River than it is in the city. It's low dew points all around. Nothing too bad. Let's see what Tom's River hit. 85 degrees today. All right, so let's take a look and see what kind of weather we will be dealing with as we head into tomorrow. All right, I actually want to look at some videos before we get to the forecast, video loops from underground of some of the sunsets across the south in particular. So I want to take a look at Florida. That's one area we're going to look at. We have to wait for the night to pass here in Florida. This webcam is from Seminole, Florida. Let's see if we can forward up a little bit so we don't have to see the night. Alright, so here we go. Here is the daytime. Let's see if any of that dust is making it in. So that's what I'm kind of curious about. If we're seeing any effects from that dust at all in this area. Let's see if we see anything or not. Because that dust is going to create some interesting looking skies. And probably get to Florida first before it gets to us. So that's why I want to kind of take a look and see what it's doing to the skies in Florida. So let's see. Hopefully this camera's pointed toward the west so we get to see the sunset here. But there may be some clouds coming in, so let's see what happens here. Darn. Alright, that's not working. So got clouds on that one. So let's see if we can find some other stations. Alright. We'll take a look at some other stations here and see if we can find something else that might be good. Let's see. This is the Bahamas. You see hazy skies over there, so I just wanted to show you this. Oh, yeah, there's one that's kind of hazy. Yeah, here's what I'm talking about. Look at all that haze there. Alright, so there's a lot of haze in the air. Some more. Need one that's going to show the sun setting, so we could kind of see. Yeah, here's kind of what it took, because the sun is setting there right now, so we look and we could see maybe some of that haze that's coming in from oh yeah, here's a good example of it. Alright, here's a sunset one. So you could sort of see this is an extreme fisheye lens, but you could sort of see the colors from the sunset that's from that dust in the air. So it should actually get that dust is going to make its way into Florida, I would think, in the next day or so. So first let's look at the GFS here. And we'll look at the GFS and see how our pattern looks like something. It looks like it's forming something else. It is. Over the weekend, it looks like it's forming something else on the Atlantic offshore. Very unusual. It's because of these warm temperatures offshore. So let's see. Weekend's going to be kind of muggy. You see that ridge starting to set up. We're going to get that humidity. And then you can see it looks like some relief is going to try to get in here middle of next week. Let's see if we can get some of that. It looks like some of them, we actually might see it by Wednesday to Thursday. Cold front moving through. But then that ridge builds back. And that ridge starts building back again, but another front tries to make it through. But we may be dealing with stall front syndrome for a large portion of into next week and through the rest of the month. It looks like we may be having another stall front syndrome situation again with that freaking ridge. So let's take a look and see what the temperatures. We'll take a look at temperature anomaly and see how the temperatures are going to fare. You back it up here to today. Backing it up to today. Come on, come on, come on. It's still not there yet. Apologize. This thing is being really slow today. Let's do this. Alright, we'll start with tomorrow. So temperatures will probably be a little bit above normal tomorrow. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Increasing humidity, but temperatures aren't going to be that hot. Same thing for Sunday. So we're not really seeing a whole lot of heat here. The heat's out in the west. There is some heat building now in the northeast as we get into this week. You can see that front come through though, and it looks like it'll bring us some nice weather Wednesday into Thursday, and then we start seeing that ridge build back. Oh well, it has it cool too, very cool that day. So I don't really see any major heat waves hitting the East Coast, which is good. It's because that front is, well, that front is going to stall out, so we're not really going to get into the heat that's behind that warm front. Let's take a look and see what the dew points are going to do for the next week. Look it up again. Let's see. So yeah, you can see the humidity is kind of coming up along the East Coast there. Nothing really terrible though. The worst of the humidity seems to stay in the Midwest. With the 70-degree dew points in the Midwest, that may wind up working its way into our area. Perhaps, but we're going to be dealing with dew points in the 60s for the most part, which isn't too bad. I mean, it'll be humid, but not, oppressively humid with dew points in the 70s until we get to Monday, and then we're going to start to see Monday into Tuesday ahead of that cold front. That's when the really tropical air will make a return, and it could be pretty uncomfortable. Even though it won't be that hot, it will be very humid. But then with that front coming through, the dew points come down quite a bit Wednesday and into Thursday. We could have some really nice weather again, so it's good until that ridge builds back again. So That's the outlook with the GFS, and let's see what happens to the dew points in the future. It does get humid again, but nothing really like what we saw earlier this month. So I'm glad, because the air conditioner I have cannot handle when the weather is like that. It's only a 5. It's a weakling air conditioner. It's tiny. It's 5,000 BTU. It doesn't have enough power when the weather is like that to handle things. Alright, the next thing we're going to look at is the sky conditions. Unfortunately, this doesn't really take into account smoke, but I have a model that might coming up after I cover this. So the GFS, we show clouds. Unfortunately, it could be a lot of clouds around the weekend. Probably a lot of cirrus clouds, haze, maybe smoke around. You could see a front trying to push through Sunday into Monday. Maybe Monday might wind up being a little sunnier, but it's going to be humid and uncomfortable. And then that front starts to come through on Wednesday. And let's see what happens if we can get that front offshore. Yeah, look what happens. Tries to stall out a little bit on us. Tries to stall out a little bit on us Wednesday, but then it should move offshore. And then Thursday should be clear. And then maybe even part of Friday will be clear as well. So that would be good. So at least we have some clear sky, because after that happens, we're going to be playing with... Yeah, you can see that stall front. We're going to be playing with that stall front for a while. So... alright, so let's get to next chances for rain. I want to look at that too, so let's look at that. Well, we're just covering the GFS, so I'm just going to go back to the preset, because we're kind of looking at the long range here to see, because we have hardly had any thunderstorms. It's not very unusual. We don't get thunderstorms like we used to in the summer. We may see some thunderstorms overnight Saturday into Sunday, and maybe with that cold front on Tuesday, maybe? Yeah, with that cold front on Tuesday, it looks like we might see some rain. We actually use some rain. We're very much below normal in the rain department. We really could use some rain. So that stall front situation that might occur later in the month may be something that we need, because we are really lacking when it comes to the rain. We could really use some rain here. We hardly had any thunderstorms. Very unusual, to say the least, but climate change is messing with the distribution of rainfall. Alright, we are at earthnullschool.net, and we are looking at particles in the air, and this would include smoke. And we're going to take a look. You can actually see, look at all that dust over the Sahara there. For it to load, you can see the dust coming out of the Sahara and blowing right across and winding up in the Gulf of Mexico and maybe part of Florida. But for our area, I don't think we're necessarily getting impacted from that. I think it's more the smoke from all these fires, and actually they show up quite well on the map. So we'll zoom in a little bit, and you'll see here, looks like there's some fires over here too. And look at all these fires burn. First of all, you can see the fires burning in the southwest here, the smoke coming from that. I don't know if this is dust, I think. But then the main thing that I think that's causing the haze for us is all these fires up in Canada. These are all fires burning in Canada right now, wildfires, where you see the red. That's where there's heavy smoke, and that smoke you can see has drifted over the northeast as well. And there's a lot of smoke around. So if you really want clean air, you got to go all the way to the Arctic Circle. Look at that, nice blue. How would you like to be over in the Arctic Circle? That's where the air is clean right now. But for the rest of us, we're dealing with a lot of pollution from these freaking wildfires that keep going on. Every year, it seems, every summer, we have this haze that hangs over us. And that's all due to climate change, because we are changing the climate, and we're changing the rainfall distributions because of the emission of greenhouse gases. Let's take a look at Siberia, because I think there are a lot of fires going off there too. Yep, I see some smoke plumes here too. So yeah, there's a lot of particles in the air, and that's making for bad air quality. So if you're having trouble breathing, you're feeling weak, it's not you, it's the air. It's polluted. So let's take a look and see what's going to happen here with particles. Actually, I can actually make this a forecast. Let's see, we can actually push this ahead here and see what's going to happen. We can go ahead by 1 day and see if there's any reduction in particles over our area. Unfortunately, there's only only move this over here like this so you can see our area more. Just look on the right hand side of your screen here. Alright, so you can also watch the dust too as it moves over. So let's see, yeah, you can see that tropical system there. Do we see any better air quality? Alright, this is 14. This is supposed to be a day. Supposed to be 1 day. All right. Well, it doesn't. 1 day. Why isn't it? All right. All right. Well, we'll just keep moving it along here. It doesn't seem to want to jump at every 24 hours. So now we're going into Sunday. Do we see any better air quality? It looks quite hazy early Sunday. Yeah, we have really bad air quality Sunday. Looking into Sunday now. Actually, now we're into Monday. Really bad air quality over us. You can see the cleaner air is going to try to come down. Let's see if we can get into that. 17th, still dealing with a lot of pollution. You can see the dust coming over too into the United States here. And let's see here. It's really interesting looking at this model here. 17th, we're at the 17th, 18th. Do we get any clean air around here or not? That's the question. That's as far as it goes. Yeah, it's as far as it goes. So it only goes out for, I think, a couple of days. So it's just going to be bad air quality this weekend into the early part of next week. I'll go back to ocean here and just hit now, and we will take a look at sea surface temperature anomalies. We still have them off the East Coast. Just close this up, so I'll just leave it. I guess I'll end this weather update looking at the sea surface temperature anomalies, and we still have huge sea surface temperature anomalies above normal off the East Coast, which it continues to put us at risk for increased tropical and hurricane activity, which has to do with that video I made yesterday. But they keep wanting to pour money into areas that are vulnerable to these systems just because of certain demographics and political favors, and yeah, it's stupid and pointless. And I'm not going to feel sorry when these people were warned about it and they continue to choose to live in areas where there's high risk instead of moving somewhere that makes a little more sense. But anyway, that's going to conclude this weather update. So it's going to be a little humid this weekend, but not like we've seen. But unfortunately, not a repeat of last weekend. If you're looking for clean air and blue skies, it's not going to happen this weekend. So take care, and thank you for watching.